Szevasztok, srácok! Itt vagyunk. What Remains of Edith Finch? Ezzel fogunk ma játszani. Ó, hoppá! Egy hajón vagyunk. Ó. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Nem hiszem, hogy szerintem kell fordítanom, mert van magyar felirat. De majd azért összegezzük a végén. Tehát gyönyörű, egyébként gyönyörű a játék.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Miért? 11 éves koráig laktak itt. Ki akar egy ilyen házban lakni? De actually. Jó, tehát nem lehet futni. Az jót jelent, nem?
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Oh. Okay.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Eltemették a tesóját. De miért?
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Finches. Tehát amúgy, srácok, el lehet menni itt erre lefele, ami valószínűleg a házhoz vezet, vagy pedig el lehet jönni erre az oldalra, de lehet, hogy ez is a házhoz fog vezetni.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
De nem ugyanarra megyünk, csak másik út. Egy hangyafasznyi időt engedjetek már meg nekem, hogy az árnyékot egy kicsit lentebb vesszük. Meg a távolságot, hogy ne töltsön már be annyit. Így. Nem hiszem, hogy az árnyéknak ennyire fönt kell lennie.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
De miért
But now
nem?
I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Nem akart visszajönni ide. Ilyen tragédiák fűzték ehhez a házhoz. Az ott építészetileg nem kifejezetten mondanám azt, hogy teljes mértékében megállja a helyét. Eltűnt. Milton Finch. Ő lehetett az, aki meghalt? Egyébként. Igen, tehát Miltonnak itt van elég sok
The house was
mindene.
exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Aha. Figyeljetek, úgyis a házba kell bemenni. Először megnézzük
As
a
a child,
garást.
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was
17
afraid of
éves.
the house.
Gondoltam. Kicsit hangból vegyünk már le. A beszédből. Felesre visszarakjuk. Rohadt hangos a csaj. Eljövünk először itt hátra, mert ugye a házba kell bemenni, de lehet, hogy erről is be lehet menni. Megnézzük, hogy vannak-e itt elrejtve bármi dolgok. Egyébként nagyon gyönyörű. Be lehet bújni? Ott be lehet bújni? Hoppá!
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Igen. 17 éve. Várjál, tehát azt azért realizáljuk már. Most vagy kövér a csaj, 17 évesen, vagy terhes. What the fuck? Fagyasztó, hát nem sok minden van benne. Fát vágtak, meg itt dolgokat csináltak. Ott egy bicikli, azt meg lehet húzni, nem? Kapcsoló.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Igen, valahogy ezt sejtettem, hogy ez így fog
For the
történni.
first time in years, I felt like I was home.
A konyha. Milyen faszán néz ki? Nézzünk szét először a konyhában.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Vannak, itt van Edith, Eddie, Dawn, ő az anyja szerintem, és Louise. Louise az, aki... Nem ő tűnt el? Nem, ő halt meg. Van a Fincheknek családi temetőjük, beszarsz. De igen, Louise volt, aki meghalt.
Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Tehát akkor Louise egy lazacgyárban dolgozott.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
Igen, tehát javarészt kínait rendeltek, mert csak az volt. Oké. Hát figyelj, mehetnénk arra, de arra több opció van, úgyhogy... Hát eljövünk ebbe az irányba, itt van valami. Hát igen, tehát volt mit hazahoznia egyébként. Itt a
The table
bor.
was still a wreck from the night we left.
Így hagyták itt. A jó kirándulás. Gyerekek. Egyébként ezek ilyen secret képek, amik nem feltétlenül a legjobb minőségűek. Nem is értem. Valamelyiknek sokkal jobb a felbontása.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Igen. Ez pedig a nagypapái.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Ja nem, Eddie. Ő a nagymama. Eddie az egy nagymama. Az női név, nem férfi. Az Eddie. Vagy Edith. Igen, mert egy D-vel van, akkor Edith, nem
Nothing in
Eddie.
the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Ja, hát
Even the
gondolom,
fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
elsüllyedt. A ház elsüllyedt? Mi a franc? Nincs is kész teljesen az kémény. De kész van, csak hát elég hülyén van megcsinálva, na mindegy. A nagyszülők valószínűleg ők itt voltak. Jó, akkor lehet lemenni, de még nem megyünk le, van egy kulcsunk, azt tudom. Barbara.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Barbara Finch. Ő filmezéssel foglalkozott? Ahogy látom. Bogárgyűjt. Lepkegyűjtő. Jó, először a földszintet nézzük meg, utána megpróbálom majd lemenni. Ugye ez a főbejárat, amit nem tudtuk bejönni.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Várjál már, tehát... Louise meghalt. Milton meg eltűnt. Milton miért tűnt el? Itt van Edith, Dawn, Miltonnak nincs levele, Louise, Edith. 2010 november. 2010-ben volt ugye ő 11 éves vagy mennyi? És most 17 éves, tehát akkor 6 év telhetett el kurván leset óta. Ja, hát itt nem igazán tudunk bemenni. Nem megyünk fölfele, először lefele megyünk. Mert így meg vagyunk ezzel a szinttel.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ó, akkor ez a kulcs nem ide való. Oké. Akkor mégiscsak az emeletre megyünk.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Igen.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Várjál már. Nem mi vagyunk most Edith akkor? Vagy a nagyanyját is Edithnek hívták? Most így el vagyok veszve. Mert abban az esetben, ha a nagyanyját hívták Edithnek, és ő mondta ezt, akkor oké. De akkor ki vagyunk mi? Mi Edith vagyunk, nem? A lány. Molly. Baszki, nem már 10 évesen halt meg.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Ne szopassál már. Most tehát, mi történt itt ebben a házban, hogy tehát 10 évesen meghalt egy gyerek? Ez olyan, mint Anthony Hopkins. Itt van.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Walter nagybácsi.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Igen. Szép amúgy a festés. Cápa. Haluci.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Némon kapitány. És ebbe elfordul? Menj már. A könyvhöz volt?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Hoppá.
Now it was time to
Micsoda.
find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Micsoda. Odafigyelj már, milyen rejtek helye vannak.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Kurva jó amúgy.
Reading this,
Tényleg, mint egy
maybe it
igazi
sounds like I
gyerekszava.
had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
Ez egy titkos szoba.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Kíváncsi lennék rá, hogy kitakarította ezt a szobát így. Na jó.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a
Molly
tiny bedroom
szobája.
with its own even tinier gerbil
Ez
cage.
mi? Menj már a fenébe, le van másolva a szobája. Kicsiben. Kurva jó.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Oké, ott meg gondolom, hát ki lehet menni. Kurva, és nézzük, a szekrényben van. Az útvonal. Azt a kurva. Nagyon jól meg van csinálva. Igen, itt vannak a szobák. Molly, Barbara, Idi és Sven. Akkor ő volt a nagymama, nagypapa. Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It
Sure.
started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Mi? Tudta a gyerek, hogy meg fog halni? Menj a francba.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Megette az egerek kajáját! Ne szívass már!
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Elfogytak a cukorkák. Megette, érted?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Meg akarta enni a halált is, de úgy döntött, hogy nem.
I kept eating and eating.
Megette a fogkrémet. Oké, jó, hát a gyerekek fogkrém az direkt ilyen, hogy nem baj, ha lenyeled.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Hát jó, de ez nem feltétlen biztos, hogy igaziak. Ez szerintem nem.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I
Ne
reached
szívass
out for
már.
her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Jó, álmodik a gyerek. Jó,
I
semmi
tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Ez amúgy kurva jó. De legalább megtudtuk azt, hogy álmodik a srác.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Ott van, nézd meg, az anyja és az apja. Kurva jó, hogy ez a macska, nézed.
I jumped and I almost got her.
De csak majdnem.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up,
Elkaptuk.
and suddenly I was an owl.
Pagoljál.
First, all I heard was the wind.
Azt a...
Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Hoppá! Ott van, hogy elkaptuk, odafigyelj.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I
Azt,
flew off to find something bigger.
valami nagyobbat.
A mama rabbit.
Ó. Egy nagyobb nyúl.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Out of nowhere. Oh. Gyerünk. Gyerünk. Nem értem, miért vagyunk cápák egy ilyen helyen?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Ó. Elkaptuk a
I
fókát.
tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
A vérszak.
I grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Micsoda polip vagyunk.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Mi a fene?
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Azt a kinyírtuk a dúdat.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Ha.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Mi a fene?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Okay, but... Ne! Nem mondod.
I got closer and closer.
Ez a saját szoba. Ez Molly.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Szokásos gyerekfélelem. Ugye félni a sötétben, és olyanokat képzelünk, ami nincsen. De mi történt amúgy akkor
I'm not
vele?
sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Nem tudom, mi történhetett. Hogy halt ő
I
meg?
got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
És nem vagyok benne 100%-ig biztos, hogy mi történt, de... Molly éhen halt? Annyira játszott, hogy éhen halt. Na jó.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Vagy mi van
I spent a
akkor?
lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Mi van akkor, ha nem is Edith vagyunk, hanem neki az unokája, aki a családfáját próbálja meg megkeresni.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Aha, basszus.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Tehát mi vagyunk ez a lány, akit nem tudom, hogy kik vagyunk, és Edie a nagymama.
Her room was like a museum.
Odin.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to
Micsoda?
leave the curse behind.
De hogy vitt el egy házat?
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Azt a rohadt élet.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Az igen.
Odin
vagyunk
Finch is
akkor
the
most.
first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Akkor ő Idi. Ennyi.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Hát, igen. Az biztos, hogy nem most kezdődik. Oké, arra tudunk tovább menni, nézzünk szét még a szobában.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Nem vakond ember.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
37. Edith Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Egy rohadt csúszdától halt meg. Jézusom. Ez de gáz hallod.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Ő Edith. Már 90 éves. Akkor valószínű meghalt. Béka. Miért van egy szék a kádban? Secret in this bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
A zöld szekrény?
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard.
Nem.
It's hidden in this book.
El van rejtve a könyvbe. Menj a fenébe. Ez de jó. Kelvin
Sven
Finch.
gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
El lehet jönni erre? Mert a kamerát azt nem látom. Hoppá! Hilton. Ó, ez Miltonnak a szobája. És van zárva itt ez a rész. Port Kelvin. El lehet menni arra.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
Oh.
I guess my grandpa didn't
Common
like history
center.
any more than my mom did.
Ó, de kurva jó. Egy gyereknek nem volt
How
még
I Want to
ilyenje.
Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Ja, hogy most... Ez a játék? Igen, azt hittem cinematic lesz.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Ó. Ez azért elég
At
veszélyes
Barbara's
hely.
funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
Itt hintázni.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Ó, ne. Itt VR-ban elhajnál magát az ember, de még így is elég küzdhető.
Dinner's ready. Coming.
But
Yeah.
that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Nem már.
I told him going around was impossible.
Körbe akart fordulni.
Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Azt a rohadt.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Or maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Még a szél is feltámad.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Megcsinálom.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Kiesett. Baszki. Balesetek sora.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Balesetek sora, hallod. Kiesett a hintából. Meghalt. Jesus Christ.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Erre is lehet jönni? Hát idáig. Ja, oda nem
Mom
lehet.
said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ki van purhabozva az ajtó, hallod? Hoppá. Kinyílt könyv. Mi ez? Fölfele. Azt tudod, milyen mechanizmusok vannak itt? Várjál, még nem megyünk arra, mert... Itt volt még egy ajtónk, nem? Csak mi eljöttünk ebbe az irányba. A barbarái az még nincs meg, szerintem. Mert ez itt ki van purhabozva. Ez az ajtó is. Viszont innen el lehetett menni egy másik irányba, nem? Nem. Én kurtam el. Nem láttam, hogy az
The
is...
only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Nem láttam, hogy az is ki van purhabozva. Akkor viszont csak egy irányba tudunk menni.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Erre ki lehet menni. Oh, hello.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Ez is ki van purhabozva. Barbarának a szobája.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Na igen. Egy rohadt pizza. Cigarettázott is. De nem volt ő már annyira kicsi. Barb Street. Dreadful Stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Micsoda?
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Ez igen.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan
Megöregedett.
and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick
Betöltek a
hadn't
házba.
returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Menj már, milyen interaktív. Ja, fene.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Aztán. Azt lehet ütni. Arra vagyok kíváncsi, ha lemegyünk a pincébe, akkor ugyanígy szét lesznek-e verve a dolgok.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Ó.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay,
Mi a fene?
I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Értem. Mitől ilyet meg a srác? Erre nem lehet menni.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh.
Barbara turned, saw the Hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Betört a házukba. Bezárva az ajtót.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's gotta be another way out of here.
Aha.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Elütöttük.
He
Ez
wasn't
van
moving,
rágva.
but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
És nincs itt a dúd.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
A fene az.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there
Okay.
myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night.
Nem már.
And little
Kinyírtak.
Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Micsoda?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Menj már. Akkor meggyilkolták. Akkor a kampókező az
Edie told me
kinyírta.
all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Érdekes, hallod? Kinyírták a saját házában.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Na jó.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Ez az emelet. Így van. Felmehetünk
Mom must
a
have locked the
padlásra.
third floor stairs on the night we left.
Nem mehetünk fel a padlásra. Viszont le tudunk... Mert be lehet kukucskálni. Benéztünk mi? Kelvin.
It's funny. My grandpa Sam all those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. Calvin.
igen. Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Sven és Idi.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Jó. Ezek ugye mind be vannak zárva, kivéve ez az egy szoba. Amit láttunk is korábban, ezt meg szerintem meg is néztük. Igen, ez a Molly. Igen, ezt megnéztük. Akkor, mivel hogy így kiunlockolódott a pince, így lemehetünk a pincébe. Na. Itt be lehet cookies.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Könyvtárban vannak eltemetve. Mi a szar? Oké. Most már tudjuk a nyitját a dolgoknak. Bekerjed. Nem. A rohadt élet, pedig azt hittem, hogy úgy lesz majd. Az ott el is van zárva. Itt
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Itt csinálták a portrékat.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Micsoda titkos ajtó.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Walter, itt menj már.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Ide be lehet jönni. Walter. Ez a kis srác, aki megöregedett. 2005-ben halt meg.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 évig itt élt le.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
Menjen neki, barackkonzervnek.
That's what kept me sane.
Tekerjed már gyorsabban.
Having a schedule, living for today.
Ott a barack.
I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Úgy gyorsan húzom. Lassan kell. Minden
And then one
barackot
day,
ölt.
everything just stopped.
Oh.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
Belefáradt az életébe.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
És azt mondta, hogy elege van ebből az életből, tesz valamit. 30 évig ide rend volt egyedül. Azt mondta, hogy próbálja élni azt az életet, ami megadatott neki.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
Mi a fene van itt?
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Ó, basz.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Most jött ki, hallod, és elcsapta egy vonat. Ez meg...
Walter died when I was
Mindenki
6.
balesetbe halt meg.
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Sorry.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Hát talán.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
Na,
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
van Walter. Mi lett itt a izével? Sinekkel. És ott a ház. Nem mi világított?
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Ott van a temető. Ez egy szék. Mit keres itt egy szék? Mit keres itt több szék? Vagy csúnya vihar volt, hallod?
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Felkapcsolt a lámpa.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Hát mehetek arra, de erre mi van? Szerintem arra semmi.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Jó. Balra-jobbra. Ez a hátulja a háznak, úgyhogy itt valószínűleg már nem lesz semmi.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Igen.
What
Elég
kind of
könnyű
family
hozzászokni
finishes
az
building a
ilyenhez.
cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Állattemető. Menj már
3 of the
fenébe.
gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Miért? Miért kell ilyet csinálni?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly. Szépek amúgy.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ott a régi ház. És most innen hova menjek?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam Finch.
Her
Gus
dad had been
Finch.
pretty strict, but it
Gregory.
wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ajaj. 22 hetes terhes halad és fán meg tetőn mászkál.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Sam 33 évesen halt meg.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Madarak megvannak.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish. How to build...
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
We should,
Dad, I...
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up. Great shot, Don!
Az igen. Csóró.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
El kell futni a dúlba.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don.
Ne.
Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Bazd meg. Megörökített a kamera, hogy meghalt.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
A rohadt év. Ennyien hallod, mindban esetben halnak meg. Ezek vagyunk mi. Mi vagyunk ez az Edith. Tehát minket is ugyanúgy hívnak, mint ahogy a nagymamát.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera.